Darren Till versus Luke Rockhold. Who's going to win this fight? Well, if we're talking about who's going to win this fight, let's take a look at their latest performances in which Luke Rockhold fought Mike Perry, in which Luke Rockhold rocked Mike Perry.
On the exit hook to the body. Oh, big left hand!
But then Mike Perry rocked Luke Rockhold in round one.
That chin is right up in the air. Stiff left hand right back from Mike Perry.
Mike Perry then put a lot of punishment on Luke Rockhold, and the rest of the fight since Luke's face was fucked up in round two. After this, Luke Rockhold went on to fight Joe Schilling, in which Luke Rockhold started off great, landing some great shots and kicks. Luke Rockhold dropped and put a lot of punishment on Joe Schilling, and the rest ain't enough and stopped the fight in round three.
Yeah. If he crashes to the canvas, he covers up, and this is over.
Now let's take a look at Darren Till's latest performances, in which he fought Anthony Taylor, in which Darren Till started off very fast, landed some great combinations, dropped Anthony Taylor in round four.
More experience in the clinch, stronger in the clinch. Oh,
Darren Till then dropped Anthony Taylor again.
he's corner did a great job cleaning him up. Still coming forward with some pressure.
Darren Till then knocked out Anthony Taylor in round six.
His head is just a bit low.
Huge combination.
And after this, Darren Till went on to fight Darren Stewart, in which Darren Till dropped Darren Stewart in round one. But then both went back and forth, both had some great shots until Darren Till dropped Darren Stewart in round eight. And Darren Till won by decision.
Darren, the Gorilla!
Now, this fight is going to be really exciting to watch, as I believe Luke Rockhold isn't ready for what's to come because he has all the disadvantages, like the fact that he's 40 years old, he hasn't been active, and he hasn't been consistent with one combat sport after he left the UFC. So it's obvious that he's not really focusing on getting better and dominating as something. He's just here for the hype and money, but that is something you would expect, but that doesn't change the fact that he's going to get schooled by Darren Till. Not only because Darren Till is the much younger fighter, being 32 years old, but he's also been really active in Misfits, entertaining the fans and dominating his opponents. So in this fight, I'm honestly finding it really hard to think, how can Luke Rockhold do enough to give Darren Till a good fight and possibly come out on top? Which the only way I can see Luke Rockhold giving Darren Till a tough fight and increasing his chances of winning is by having it in him to go back and forth and exchange shots, because he's definitely not going to be able to win this fight by landing one big shot and knocking out Darren Till. So he's going to have to go back and forth and exchange shots for the majority of the fight, and maybe he can win by decision. But let's be honest, this is not going to happen because Luke Rockhold is not going to have the cardio and the will to go back and forth with Darren Till. By round four, there will be a huge difference between both men. Darren Till will look like the much fresher fighter, while Luke Rockhold will be struggling to pick his hands up and catch his breath. So in the end, I got Darren Till winning this fight. I believe he's going to be a lot quicker, he's going to move better, and his pressure and power will be way too much for Luke Rockhold to handle. And realistically, I can see Darren Till stopping Luke Rockhold late, as I believe Luke Rockhold won't have an in him to survive all rounds.